All right, let's start putting together our user interface. At this point here, our content main XML here looks like this. Okay, we don't need, let's go to our content main here. We don't need this floating button there, so I'm going to get rid of it. Let's get rid of this, which means let's go to our main and get rid of that as well. Okay, clear things up. And also all of this we won't need at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and comment that out. Close this down here so we don't have all that clutter. All right. Actually, let's go to our content main XML. Notice because we use a different way of creating our activity or project, now we have active main XML and content main XML. Same thing, okay? So notice we are using the include to get our layout from our content main. All right, so everything is inside our content main. So the activity main XML is just a shell, if you will. So what we're going to be doing here, obviously we're going to get rid of all of this, not needed anymore. And I'm going to add here a frame layout. Going to make it match parent as well as match parent like that. And I'm going to give an ID. That is going to be face, detection, camera, container. Rather long, but it's always helpful. All right, there we go. So inside of our frame, I'm going to add our camera view. Now notice this camera view we're going to add is the camera view from our Otalia Studios, our library. Okay, so hit that, and I'm going to make this match parent and as well match parent as that. So it's going to take over the entire view as you see there. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and give it an ID. I'm going to say face. Instead of container, this is going to be camera view like that. And while I'm here and inside of our camera view, I'm going to add an image view. So I'm going to say image view, match parent. Let's give it the ID here. I'm going to call face detector, camera, image view. And what I'm going to do also, I want to make sure that this scale type to be center crop. So it's all going to be in the middle. All right, so right below, I'm going to add a button. I'm going to make it wrap content and wrap content. There it is. Let's give it an ID. I'm going to call face detection again. This time I'm going to say face detection camera. It's going to be our toggle button as such. And I'm going to give it a little gravity here, top or end, like that. I'm going to give a margin of 8 dp, and the text is just going to say toggle, like this. Let's go ahead and extract this. That's fine. This one should be layout gravity. There we go. So that way we can take the whole layout to the right, top end. All right, that's looking real good. Now, once we finish our frame layout, I'm going to get out of here. In this, I'm going to add another image view here. Give an ID, which is going to be face detection image view. I'm going to say margin bottom about 90 dp. Very good. And I'm going to say margin end of about 16 dp. Margin start also about 16 dp. Very good. See margin top of about also 16 dp. Scale, I'm going to say send fit center. Oh, there we go. So puts all in the center. Notice that this image is going to be on top of what we have in our camera view. Okay. There we go. So that is where we're going to add image. The moment we crop, we're going to show that image there. And if we want, we can go back to design here. I can just make sure that I create all of these like that. Make it a little bit smaller like this. Okay, that's much better. Text, we should see everything just added for us. Okay, very good. So very good. So this is indeed our activity main. That's a very simple user interface. So that's what we're going to be using. Now, the next thing I'm going to add, let's go back to our activity main here. So we have our content layout. We can also include something else. What we're going to be including is going to be the button at the bottom here, which is going to be connected to our bottom sheet. So in this case, it's going to be the widget that we can flick it, and then we're going to see a sheet coming up. All right. So at this point here, I'm going to go ahead and say include. It's going to be layout. We don't have it yet. And it's going to be at layout. I'm going to put activity main, but this way it's actually going to be called bottom sheet. Bottom sheet. Okay, we're going to go ahead and create that right now. So I'm going to copy this. Let's go to our project here, right click. In fact, I wonder if we just click in here, just like we do always, create layout resource. There we go. There it is. Very good. So I went ahead and created our bottom sheet XML. Very nice. I'm going to go ahead and close this down. Very good. So we have nothing inside here. This is where we're going to put our bottom sheet with the button so that users, like I said, can flick it and then see the sheet with all the information. So inside, we're actually going to have a recycle view. So I'm going to get the recycle view beforehand because we're going to be using it anyway. Very good. So it's all installed. I'm going to go to our text. And I am going to get rid of the layout linear, the constraint layout. I'm going to favor our linear layout, our famous linear layout. First of all, let's make this vertical. So let's see, orientation, vertical, very nice. Let's give this an ID because we're going to be invoking this. I'm going to call this bottom sheet. Next, I'm going to say app behavior. Let's import that namespace. So behavior underscore hideable. I want to make this false. And I'm also going to add another behavior here called behavior height. So the highest height allowable is going to be 74 dp. That has to be in our app like that. And I'm going to keep adding here. I'm going to say app, the layout, behavior. I'm going to say Android dot support dot design dot widget dot bottom. So what this is doing is we're making sure that this whole linear layout is going to conform to the bottom sheet behavior, which is needed, like I said, to flick and then we see something. All right, so that's something new there. If you want more information about this, just go to Android developer and say bottom sheet behavior, and you can see more information. So there we go. So inside then we're going to create the actual view. So I'm going to say view because this behavior, this bottom sheet needs to host a view. Okay. And I'm going to make this match, and the height is going to be, I'm going to just make it smaller, 2 dp. You will see why. And background, I'm going to say Android darker, let's say Android color, darker gray, like that. I'm just going to go finish that one, that little view there. And then I'm going to put a frame layout here, match parent, and the height's going to be 56 dp. Look at that. You see that? It's going to be on the top. That's where we're going to add our button there. Let's give an ID. So ID is going to be bottom sheet button. Okay. Layout margin, I'm going to say about 8 dp. Okay, that looks very good. And then inside, I'm going to put another image view, wrap content, and also wrap content as that. Give an ID, bottom sheet button. I'm going to say it's an image view or just image. It's much better. And I want this to be in the middle, so I'm going to invoke the gravity layout to center. And you can see it's very tiny there. And of course, once we give a source of a drawable of some sort, Android drawable, I'm going to see IC menu camera, and you can see there is a little camera there. Very good. And also still inside our frame here, I'm going to attach our progress bar, right? So progress bar, wrap content, give an ID, of course. I'm going to say bottom sheet button progress bar, like that. I'm going to also put that in the middle. I'm going to say gravity center, just right there in the middle, but I also want to make sure that it's not shown. So I'm going to make this gone, the visibility, say gone. Okay, and let me give this button, this main button here, a nice color. So let's back to our layout, the entire layout here. Say background, and I'm going to give it an accent color like that. All right, that's not bad. Very good. And so at the bottom here, we're also going to add the actual recycle view, because remember, this is going to be flicked up, and then we're going to have all the information here. So I'm going to facilitate our lives by adding a recycler view. Let's say a recycler view. I'm going to make this match and wrap. We don't need anything really. We're just going to get rid of all of that and close it there. And at this point here, I'm going to give an ID. That's going to see bottom sheet recycler view, like that. All right, very good. So we should have a recycler view at the bottom there. This has to be layout gravity. There we go. And goes to always to the right. There we go. Okay, so everything looks good so far, and we'll continue in the next video.